Hello everyone, how good of you to join and welcome back to our glorious city that we have here in Wildwater Bay. Now, we had a, smaller problem here with the fine food that has been resolved now since we're producing enough again. I think it is upgrading time since last session we went to the moon, and this time we want to consolidate what we have and continue with the upgrading process. After all, money is what we need. My goal now is, besides the moon, is to reach one of the other islands that we have available here, because space is getting tight in Wildwater Bay. You might actually say, screw you, space, we have enough of that. We don't, because we need the city here, right? So we can have a bit more factories and farmland in this area, I guess. But that's really the end of it. I want more city then, right? We want a big, bustling town with lots of landmarks and stuff like that. Let's continue with a few more upgrades here in the center. We can afford that now. Some more executives. They are going to provide us with nice cash that we need as well. Of course, also with some higher consumption. 14 water. We will need to start importing water soon if we continue at that rate. And water is a good key point here actually, because we need to continue building more houses, which in return will cost me more water, obviously. Let's have some more blocks here to finish off the city. Yes, that's right. So here we're going to finish the city more or less. This is the outer end of it. Oh, that we can have now here. So another city expansion. I'm going to have a double road all the way up there. Like me some double roads, because we have the double road here, here, and then also here all the way into the center, right? So I want to keep these street layouts there so that we always know where we need to go next. That would be something. Then we can continue with some more houses in that area. And most likely
this whole military
also this whole
exactly
block.
My thing. Would you like to take over?
And bear in mind, this is absolutely not enough if we want to continue with the moon. So we really need more money. Let's also have another metro station. They're really expensive, but it's what people want. We could, unfortunately we can't squeeze one in here in the center. There we can definitely squeeze one in, and I should have one on that side. Righto. That's something. This is level 29 and 80,000 people we have reached with that. Very good. 80,000. I would like to have probably a metro station here, since that is going to be a pretty big place here, right? With the houses and the headquarters that we're going to have then. I might actually have the metro station here. Another one. That should be fine. Righto. And actually, we might have some more normal people than here. Because I would really like to have blocks of big houses than here in the center. There's a little park that we can squeeze in, and there's also a park that we could squeeze in to this area, or let's have another housing area there, right? And here we could have something then like a bus station. I love those buildings. Beautiful, and I want more of them. The cool thing is we can upgrade right away, so as we can see they have everything they want. Let's just get them to the next level right away. And probably over here we could continue with a bit more expansion. We're at +2 water. Yep, I think it's time. We need to start with the water import. That's expensive. That's not something we can do so easily. Let's just have a look. For around 50 water, 5,000 we would have to pay from now on. That's 50 water. Of course we can increase that later, and with a bit more money coming in we can afford more water. It's still hurting us, but we are officially out of it, so I need to import it. And I will definitely want more islands because of that. And this is also where the city ends. Righto. And then we could continue here. How are we with our goods? Money-wise, we have a lot to keep up, or to catch up again. We can still continue. It's always the best thing. And I might have a block here, and then some of those blocks here. Also on that side we continue. We have another metro station and more blocks of houses. So there is quite the upgrading that we have still to do. I hope that, yes, we can actually squeeze in some more blocks of houses in this area. And also then, once again, some more blocks here. Perfect. Of course, this is just a basic layout, so we're going to get rid of some of these houses again, right? In order to build some landmarks, in order to have some monuments later on. Some parks, and nah, this space we keep open for now. Yeah, we could have just some more blocks here, like that one, right? So with the courtyard in the center, like so. Once again, information is what we need as well. Now, bear in mind, we're spamming a lot of buildings here right now. I hope that we're done with that at some point then as well. Let's have another information center here, and probably another one here. And this, more or less, we are coming at to the end of that city in this area too, because I will still like to have some mining there going on, right? So this road here will lead all the way up there. It's going to end here. And we probably will keep some of that space here for some more industry. After all, we do need a bit of industry at least. So that's industry area, and up to this point I would like to have the city. So that we have that layout. Let's continue with some upgrading. As always, we already have these guys here. 2 more executives. I like it when it comes together, especially when we have then that beautiful metro station surrounded by our executives. The next level up. What a beautiful game. Down here we have the parks and the football stadium. And I might also have some more upgrades from the lower ages, from the lower tiers. That is actually something we can still afford.
Transfer routes.
Yes. Transfer routes we will have to fix after all of this, obviously. That was some massive upgrading. Holy moly. Holy cow. Robots we still have, right? Yes, robots we still have plenty of. What is actually down? Water is still fine. Level 31. And we're getting some real cash in here right now. That's a good thing. Neuro implants, of course. Let's have those guys here. Closer to the coast. Most likely. And as we can see, the further we go out to the city, the more lack the people have, right? So those guys here, for example, they lack information. That is something that we could easily provide, and information actually gives them a nice boost. So let's build that one here at least. We still have a -9, but it's fine. It's fine. Perhaps also those guys there and those guys here. That's it for upgrading for now. We need to fix a few things. Instead of spamming more and more farms, we could also start importing the lower basic goods, right? So like the fruits, for example, 150 of them for now would cost us 3,300 on the credits. I think the farms cost just as much and, on the other hand, you know, consume the space. So I think this is a good way of actually getting, well, making some room for more industries later on. This one gives me the bit opportunity of just having more factories now without having the need to build more farms. So overall, a nice business, I think. Of course, it's the energy that once again restricts us. And yeah, even in Wildwater Bay, we are running out of space for these collectors. One more here. One more out there, not even the highest efficiency. And this one, 98, 97, that's still fine. Not that much more I can do. Vitamin condensers. A few more now in this area. And probably on the other side then as well. We will definitely don't need some more fruit farms. Even though I'm importing a bit more. But as we can see, space-wise, there is no module unfortunately that increases the efficiency yet. There is going to be one at some point, not right now. And that means that we're a bit stuck here now with the factories that we have. There is another one. Just get me a bit positive here. And I shall be fine. Minus 10. I think with minus 10 we can work for now. 74 vitamin drinks we have still on the surplus. Water is now absolutely low. And that's the real thing here. I cannot increase my... Actually, I can. I can still increase it a bit more if I want to. That's fine. Alright.
Goods have been
Didn't expect that. So we can still continue with the water import. And let's also have an adjustment here for the vitamin drinks. So Akia gets a bit more vitamin than we need. And we've also breached our first million here. So the first million credits are flooding in. And with that, perhaps we can have a look at the prices. 2.5 million, 3.3 million, 2 million. Viridian Coves is possible. How can we achieve that a bit quicker? Well, we could sell some stuff. Let's just have a look what we might be doing here.
Good stuff.
Yes, that's not a whole lot. At least it's something. But in Wildwater Bay we can definitely sell more stuff. Right. But what I want to do here is another molybdenum production. Molybdenum.
Feel free.
Molybdenum. It's very hard to say. Let's get us another factory. Yeah, another mine. And there we have one more. Energy-wise, probably down here. I can't wait for the fusion reactors. They're going to change my life. Righto. Let's build another one over there. Resources are fine.
Transfer route inefficient.
Yes, another
missing goods.
Warehouse in the area. And workforce-wise, they cost me 100 workers each. So I might also add some of those modules there to save some people. Right, the same thing I can do here. And actually we can reduce the amount of people that work here by, I think, yeah, to 1. So there's only 1 worker now working here. The rest is doing the drones, as we can see. So they're now automating our mining sites. Also, the next factory comes along now. So this one here, with more of these very, very, very expensive modules that we can add. And this one, for example, oh yes, we can have a lot of them. Perfect. This whole road here we can finish then with people. And here we can then actually have 2 rows of people, right? Like that, all the way up there. So, going to have 1 road here as well. And then we can have those blocks there. And then I'm going with another factory. Most likely here. Right, so we can get these modules now all the way down here and have then houses on either side once again later then. Very expensive though, as we can see. Alright, another blockade in Wildwater Bay. We actually need to do this though real quick because this is definitely going to tank my, oh my goodness, yes, my balance. Also, we were very close to the 100,000 there, our first 100,000. And I definitely want to defend that.
Ordered to location.
Righty, when we are a bit lucky with the items, we can just spam us through those fleets, and thus they have been destroyed once again. Back off, you fool.
Battle stations. They're attacking.
Off he goes, of course. We can go back to what is actually important. I think we got some experience points, so we could upgrade our fleet there as well. What matters though is that we can now also readjust our trade routes here, so that we go to a surplus in of the newer implants there in Wildwater Bay. This should be very helpful for my population. And for my balance then, of course.
Yeah, is there something you want?
And true. I think it's actually time to finish the project that we have on the moon. The next phase. Monument construction, the lunar spaceport. With that we can have trade route. A trade route to Earth.
The landing stages are ready to accept cargo
There it
shuttles.
is.
Now you can establish interorbital transportation routes.
And that's what we need to do
But that
for a
doesn't
couple of
mean your
things.
colony is safe. The supply lines from Earth are easy targets. I'd recommend you make your colony as
Those miners, they want
self-sustaining
something before we can
independent as
upgrade them,
possible.
and that's the rejuvenators. We do have a few of them. We don't need a lot of them, that's a good thing. It's costing us though 1,500
Up here, your
there.
colonists are
Just the trade route
constantly exposed
itself
cosmic
to the moon.
radiation.
Very
Their
expensive.
spacesuits fend off some of it. The rest is neutralized by potent medicine like this.
At least they have now the rejuvenators, and we've unlocked a few more buildings now on the moon. And one of them is the cybernetics factory.
I can sell you the remaining stock from our warehouses and use the credits to buy supplies. I'd appreciate the business.
Alrighty, so let's continue. Those people here want the bioenhancers. My people on Wildwater Bay also want them. That's a good thing. So that's going to flood in some money again. What they want though is the rare earth elements. And that's it for now. So let's get us the rare earth element miner. And we might also need another solar panel over here. So another module that we can add. This one. Workforce-wise, it's all the same. It's a problem. It's always a problem. Even here, even with the rejuvenators, we don't have a whole lot of people in this area. Let's just have a few more houses. This one here needs some protection then, right? So we would also need a seal generator, which in return, of course, well, costs energy. How could it be different? There we have the next one for our settlement. And then I might actually just have the bioenhancers now. Now over there we have a solitary site for the rare earth elements. Oh, yes, of course. We don't want employees being exposed to radiation. Let's have the two modules there with it right away. And I just love one thing about this one here, about Anno 2205. It might seem very linear and absolutely easy, but it's really not. It always starts easy with one production chain that starts, and then this production chain, you know, connects with other production chains, and it connects then to all the other biomes that you're playing on the moon, on the Arctic, and in Wildwater Bay essentially, and they're connecting with each other. They all need energy, workforce, different goods from each other. And I really like how it gets gradually more and more complex to the point where you actually start to feel like your head is going to explode. That's a really beautiful thing, I think. Let's have one more module here and one more module for the titanium plating, so that we speed up our building material. And since we have the oxygen, let's continue with a few more houses here in the center. This one we have for... very good.
Construction options expanded.
There we can have now the missing one, and actually here we can also have still a few more. Two more at least. And here. That we can squeeze in, and then in this area. Now that's a bit messy though. I think we also will get the first service building soon. That we should have. There it is, the maintenance station. And I'm probably going to have it here in the center.
Living on the moon is like living in a fishbowl. One small leak and conditions
What a
become
beautiful
hostile.
building.
But you're prepared.
This one's going now to maintenance.
Demand.
Our inhabitants, I guess. And I would like to continue with a few more houses. After all, this means more workforce that we can have then in this area. And with the add-on that we have installed, we actually also get some ornaments here on the moon. As always though, way too expensive for me to really build. I mean, this is really tempting though. That banner of the cat up here. Let's just do that one. Oh, we could also have an artificial sun. I mean, why not? Alrighty. That we have the rare earth we have. Now we can start with this one. Well, if it weren't that easy, we actually do need more energy. So once again, I'm going to have these modules here, and of course they need some protection, that we get protection for our workers. 69 actually this one consumes. Let's have some drones here so that we reduce the amount of people. It's actually quite fine. Then we can have those factories, those new ones.
The human body is not fit for zero gravity exposure. Good thing your biotech division found a way to reduce health risks for your astronauts.
And we're actually, by the way, out of money. What is going on? Maintenance costs. Something is costing me real hard here. This one is costing me 6,000. This one is costing me 750. And this one is costing me 3,000, the maintenance station. Oh my goodness, we are out of money. We actually still need the space nutrition factory for the sustenance packs. This one needs organic food from Wildwater Bay and the moon crops from the moon. So we actually need another trade route from Wildwater Bay to this place here. But the bioenhancers, actually yes, I built too many modules there. Perhaps we can sell this one. Might be funny if we can do this for 1,700. Whoa, that's not very much. Let's sell it anyway. I think the cost of the trade route is just so high.
Route, beginning operation.
We could also sell some processors. 3,500. Let's go for that. A bit of money comes in with that. Look at how the web starts to grow. Right, and we're still only at the beginning. Now the people in Wildwater Bay still want these bioenhancers, right? So we should still do something about that. Yeah. How much does a module cost me? 325. We can actually afford 2 of them. Let's make 3 of them. So I'm going to reduce the trade route that we have there, so that we have a slight positive. And then we need the trade route for the bioenhancers now. The 3 to Wildwater Bay. Right. That's not going to be worth it. That's not something we can do for now. I need more people. Since the moon is so expensive, well, we do need one thing and one thing only, and that is expansion. Expansion in Wildwater Bay. There is some more information shortage that I might adjust over there, so that we can continue with our upgrading. Let's just check the executives. They want the bioenhancers and the sustenance packs, and then we could upgrade them. But this is 2 big ifs here. The sustenance packs as well, which is going to be insane. So I rather stick with upgrading more people now, especially executives, because they pay me well. And we could have another block of executives in this area. And actually, I'm also out of the super alloys then, again.
Transfer route inefficient. Cause missing goods.
Alrighty, a few more upgrades here. That's feeling good right now. Level 32. As we continue to grow, a bit more money is also coming in with that. Let's have a full upgrade on this side. I'm not really looking at the consumption rate at this point. We just will have to fix it then. Level 33, perfect. That's a bit more cash. And 25k we are now, perfect. So that was actually pretty good, and useful. So with that we can afford more production now on the moon. And boy, I do want my investors. And yes, we can actually also have a look at Nick Papadakis and see what he purchases. He purchases quite a lot right now. The flax, that's 40,000 each. The wine, we can sell 2 times. The soybeans. Oh, silicon, that's 77,000. Let's go for that. Silicon is really expensive. That brings me to an idea. Wait a second. Silicon. 178 credit silicon would bring us. We have mining sites available still. And as far as I know... okay, they are expensive though, right? So those silicon mines, probably not going to be worth it that much. I've upgraded a few more buildings in the meantime because it was basically just grinding some more resources. And as we can see, we got now a bunch of executives in the whole area. As we can see, quite the lively city. We still have our option here, or our mission, with the produce the lunar launch. We are actually capped on the money right now because I've upgraded so many people in the meantime. So I've basically upgraded those blocks here. We've leveled up by 2-3 more levels, I think, and that also of course gave us quite the money boost. So we have now the means to do a lot of things. That's the important thing here. When we look at the city there's so many nice details everywhere, like this small bus there, the line 5 that is traveling around. Just amazing. I guess it's stocking at the roofs and letting the people into the buildings or whatever. Yeah, and basically we have to do a couple of things. First of all, let's have a look at our consumption rates. As we can see, the fine food is rather low, and the fine food is important because it is needed in the Arctic as well. What we need to do right now is we need to increase that production. We do have fish and we do have rice a lot. So let's just get over there. Here we have our fine food production. And yeah, basically the only thing we need to do here is expanding our little modules. Now I found that there are some very cool modules available for some factories actually, and one of them is the maintenance cost reduction, right? So some mines cost 3,000 in maintenance cost, and some of them have the maintenance modules that reduce the amount of credits they take by 50%. And that's really powerful when it comes to your maintenance cost. So I'm going to keep a closer look on that from now on, as I think it is pretty important to do, since a lot of those buildings are ridiculously expensive at this point. Now that's the amount of modules that we need, and with that we should be now at 62 fine food. So that's not only making my people happy, as we are climbing towards 150,000 on the population limit. The other thing is that I can actually continue upgrading a few more people again, and we should definitely be doing that. Upgrading those people is the most fun in this game, because you just boost yourself not only population money wise, but also with the levels, so we do get higher on the level list. And boy, we have so many buildings to upgrade, right? We have basically this whole mega downtown, kind of like with this one and this area, that we are going to make full, and I want to have high quality buildings everywhere here, and that's exactly what we can do in this area. Level 39, with that we raise our limits to 4 million credits, which is just really beautiful. And by the way, while we actually are capped at the money, which is not a good thing, let's purchase the first other sector in the area here that we can have. We have Walbrook Basin available. We also have Reading Coves, which costs me around 2.98 million at the moment, and it has a lot of place. Unfortunately, I think it has this tiny island there where we start out, so we would need to build a bridge first, which is rather expensive. Where do we have something else? We have Cape Amber, which doesn't have a lot of building space. It has lots of water sites, but that's it. I think after all, we're still going with, yeah, basically with Viridian Coves, even though that bridge is going to cost us. The overall cost and the overall building space that we can have in this area are just phenomenal. So that's probably my first go. So Viridian Coves take over the sector. New Order, Parnef Industries. We're basically a bit poorer because of that. I'm not going right into it. We still want to get some money up there again before I go into that. We have still stuff to do. Let's continue with expanding our little settlement. The first thing that we need to do here is over there. We still have a bit of space. We cannot upgrade those guys here right now, the workers. And I want to do that, even though, yeah, he looks handsome enough. So let's get a few more of them. There we still have lots of space. We have those blocks of houses that I can just continue using happily in this area, like so. And there we probably will have just a smaller place like that, so we finish it off with the police station. Probably one of the last city expansions that we're going to have here, because yep, as we can see, the space is getting tight and it's only going to get tighter. So we are definitely limited by the amount of people we can upgrade in the town, right? At some point I will not be able to upgrade people anymore. That's very important to keep in mind when it comes to building a mega city, that there are limits at the end, and not like in 1800 where we can endlessly basically expand with Crown Falls. Then we have a few more. Could actually finish there with a few more smaller houses, at this side. And that's basically the end of it. Can I still squeeze something in here? I might actually squeeze in another police station in the area. So just here. Yeah, let's make it like that, because then we can have some smaller park around those two buildings. And then I would finish it off with the bigger residence here. Perfect. Right, so just bear in mind that we're still needing to add the parks. We still need to add parks everywhere. But I'm only going to do that once money is not the biggest problem anymore. I guess here, where we have the solar collector, I could still have, yep, a house in it. And then we can also make this whole row full. Righto, and a small house here. Perfect. And then we could have these whole blocks here once again. But of course, as I said, we still need to keep some space for the industries. So that's probably that. And also here we could have a nice little alley once again. Also, here perhaps a few more buildings, but that's really it. So that's really the end of spamming buildings in our city. There's not going to be that many more buildings here, right? So from now on, it's only developing of what we have already. And of course also to beautify the areas. But that's really it then. There we can still squeeze something in. Yep. But I'm liking the city so far, and we'll just see in what kind of direction we develop from here on. We still have some information that's needed. So in this little corner there, beside the mountain, we do have a nice spot for it, where we're going to have a mining site then as well at some point. And a bit more information perhaps on the other end of town as well, here close to that mountainside. By the way, those guys still want some space. Now with the expansion of those houses, we can actually upgrade a few more people again, right? So we still have those basic houses now, tier 1. I can go ahead and just upgrade a few more of them. And perhaps here as well. But it's not going to be that many more, so we need to be very careful where I want to expand. This whole block here, level 40, very good. That's a bunch of credits again. 220,000, and the title surprise success we are now. Now, isn't that nice? We are a surprise success. No one believed in us. Some more houses there. Tier 2 houses. Tier 2 houses. Where could I squeeze in more? And are we here? Oh, we are in the harbor area. So in the harbor area, let's upgrade those guys here to tier 2. I think there in the center there was a tier 1 house somewhere. But it seems to be good now. All nice. Very good. That's all tier 2. Tier 2. And that's basically the last houses that I can upgrade. So we need to be careful. That's the amount of houses. Right, let's have this block. And this block. And there we have some, right? In that little area there. Some leftovers. This one. And that's it. These are the last tier 1 houses that I've been upgrading now. And it's probably, yep, for a long time. Because honestly, we need the rest for industry. Right? We are at 52,000. Sounds nice, right? Probably not. We need, first of all, we need to import another 28 water. That's something I'm going to have or going to do from the space station. Let's make it to 20. So that's already lowering it by 4k of what we need. I'm also importing the algae already. So I'm going to need to import a few more algae.
Goods have been launched.
That's another 2k that I need to spend here. And then we have the fruits, right? The fruits, perhaps a few more here. Doesn't cost that much a k, but still it adds up. Now, we're still importing that, right? So water is fine now. The fruits, yep, we are using a lot of fruit right now. So I'm going to need to add a few more of them, of those factories. So there we have a bit of space that I can still utilize for some more factories. We don't need that many anymore, by the way, because, yep, tier houses are over then. Tier 1 houses. We're still at negative 70. I will probably need to get more fruits into. Alright, so we need to be careful though of not overextending us there. And probably 2 more here. Oops, not those guys here, but those guys. Minus 22 vitamins. I would need more of those fruit plantations now, or we're doing something that I've just done now by acquiring Viridian Coves. We build up a second settlement with all of its glories, with especially also the water sites that we're going to get over there. Now that's still fine there. So let's go to Viridian Coves, to a new sector, to a new temperate sector that is going to help us with supplying our megacity from now on with basic materials.
Big place. We'll see if it's big enough for ambitions like yours.
I hope it is.
One of my colleagues already has high hopes for the area. I'm sure he will ask you to join in his latest prestige project. Between us, the Union is impressed with how your corporation is growing. Hardly surprising you've settled for such a vast sector.
And yes, there we are once again in a new sector. A lot of space, as we can see. So in my last playthrough, I've actually had this sector as my major city, and it's not a bad sector at all. The problem though is that, yeah, well, it doesn't have that much massive space like Wildwater Bay, where we're starting out. So what I need to do is, actually, I need to now claim one of these sites here. That is costing me again. And I think, yep, we can only really settle here as far as I can see. It's the only warehouse that we have. So as we can see, there is then the bridge that I will be needing.
Support a bridge to the other side.
Let's claim the area.
Building one here will give you access to new construction ground. An
Righto.
ideal location for the next branch office. Well chosen.
Before I can start, actually, wait a second. I think we can already use a trade route over there. Yes, we can already supply Viridian Coves with materials, and I would like to start with building materials. We don't need that much in Wildwater Bay anymore, so getting 50, let's make it 50 actually. Transferring 50 over to Viridian Coves. It doesn't cost us that much. We could do the same thing with the robots. So I'm having 30 right now in Wildwater Bay, and we're going to say 25, right? For now, that will be fine. So what we can see, yes, we're getting building resources in without actually building anything, right? Without having an industry here, because we're just transferring everything over there. And with that, we can start building that bridge here right away.
Bridge construction.
So as we can see, the bridge would be started now. Unfortunately, workforce is something that we cannot transfer, right, between the sectors. So we actually will need to get the workforce ourselves in Viridian Coves. And that's where we're starting out now, right here. So let's go ahead. We have the building materials, and I would like to start right away with, well, an information center here in the center for our first little settlement. And we can also start ahead with the water that we get, and also a solar collector here to provide the first energy to our little settlement. And then I can have those smaller houses here, and they are providing now the first workforce. And boy, we don't have a lot of space here. I guess we have a bit more space in this area.
Warning: unfulfilled demand for specific consumer products.
So one thing is going to be very important in Viridian Coves, and that is the workforce modules, right? We haven't used them a lot yet, because basically workforce never really was the major problem. It's going to be in Viridian Coves though, since we're going to have lots of industry here, and I'm certainly not going to build up a second big city, which would be just an eternal waste. Right, so that's that. And over there we get the street as well. And thus we have our first little settlement in Viridian Coves. Now with that basic workforce coming in, we can actually now continue with the bridge, since we have now the 100 people that we need for that bridge, plus the building materials. And as we can see, it's ticking down for this massive project that we have over there. Now the cool thing is that we're getting a lot of water now here, right? So we have lots of water sites in Viridian Coves, and we can basically really build a whole lot of them. Money is fine. I guess we have, yes, on this island here especially, or this mainland, we have lots of water sites that I can use, and here as well. They don't cost a lot of energy. So I would just go ahead and build more of them. Oh, and now we're limited by the bridge. And there it is. Let's finish the
Paperwork's
construction
done. It's yours.
of this bridge. And as we can see, we can advance now way faster than before in new sectors with building and stuff like that, because basically we just have the means for it. That wasn't the case previously, and I really like that concept, because the further we get, the faster we can expand, and we actually need that, right? So we really need fast expansion. We do have another bridge project on that side, so we can use this one for later. And I will just go ahead and have another major road all the way to that side, where we can then also use all the mining sites here. Now, this little settlement here I'm probably going to delete again, because it's basically just wasting space. I'm going to build a city here, and we're going to utilize those sites then later. And the water, there is another water one. Now we have the building resources, and I can go ahead and build some more of them. We are probably going to use a lot of water from here to get to Wildwater Bay and, you know, make it easier, and we don't need that much water then anymore from the space station, which is just really expensive. And a little logistics office in the area. Viridian Coast is taking, well, shape. What I would like to do here is we really have a lot of space. I would really like to finish the second bridge right away, and with that we will be able then to have the other mainland ready. I do, however, require some more workforce for that. And probably also more building materials. Oh! Oh, and he's coming right into Viridian Coves, so let's call in the fleet. Now that's actually quite a massive invasion that we see here in Viridian Coves. It's 47 also that we need to destroy. Lucky me, I've grinded a few military missions outside of recording, so we should have a bit of military strength. This is looking though pretty... Huh. What is this?
Target acquired.
Perhaps we do... Yes, okay, they are dispersing now a bit. Oh, and we also need to renew the contract for the microchips. Of course, that's something I'm going to do. Oh.
Battle stations, they're attacking.
That's quite the amount of ships here. Holy crap. I'm going to give me... Nah, that's not going to do it. Alright, we're getting wrecked right now.
We're sinking. We are under attack.
I cannot do that much here.
We're sinking. Into the... We are under attack.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's too many ships here. Lost the big one. Alright, and we at least got one missile barrage that I can use, but we've lost most of the ships now. They're going to take... It's going to take quite some time to repair all of that. We can still do some damage here.
Nuclear missile.
Right, with that strike. Actually, not... Didn't do that much, I think. Right.
All hands engage.
Okay, they've lost the last ship, doesn't matter. We need to wait now quite some time, and Viridian Coves for the moment is lost to us. I will probably stop the construction, so we still have enough workforce and also means to get some building materials in, even though for the moment we cannot really do that much here in Viridian Coves. Yeah, it's a lot of ships. That's a lot of enemy ships. So this is what happens when your fleet is not strong enough. I was doing quite a few missions actually, and it seems like it wasn't enough. Overall, we need more. We need a better fleet still. Still going to expand a bit here. Alright, we need to wait now. Yeah, until my ships have been repaired. But it's not wasted time. We can actually do something. First of all, I would like to check my organic food in Wildwater Bay, because we need to get organic food to the moon. Let's just check this one real quick. It's very bad actually. We're at negative 28 organic food, so I will need to have my own little expansion of this one. So we have some factories over there. It's certainly not enough though. Let's add some 2 more and some more modules. I'm out of rice now. and probably out of water now soon as well. That's 62 organic food, but the rice is a
Consumer
problem.
analyses show unfulfilled demand for specific
Alright, how much
commodities.
rice are we? Are we capped with the rice? I'm not importing any rice at the
Warning.
moment, it seems.
Unfulfilled demand for specific
But
consumer products.
can I get some rice in? We can actually do this. And I will probably need to do this from now on.
Unfulfilled
We can
demand
actually import
for
a lot of
specific
rice
consumer
for
products.
not that much money, right? So it's
Delivery
only
will
costing
be
me 2k
expedited.
to import 100 rice. So I'm doing that so
Transfer
that I can
beginning
still
operation.
utilize my factories. This is though, pretty harsh. Gotta say that. We don't have that many options. The fine food is fine. And the organic food I'm now going to send to the moon. So once again, another trade route. That's an expensive trade route here to the moon. It's always expensive. And let's just see that we are within the bounds here, 50. Let's get the 50 to
Transfer
the
route
moon and let's switch
registered.
to the moon. Now on the moon, which is, well, shaping up to be a nice settlement, right? We have one goal actually, and that is attract officers and produce the lunar lunch. Sustenance packs we would need for that. So that's a modded production chain that is not in the base game. And for that we do need the organic food and the moon crops. And the moon crops we can actually do on the moon, but it needs ice.
Unfulfilled demand
Now we have
specific
one mine
consumer
here that
products.
produces ice. It costs me 3,000. Let's add 2 more. I think that's fine for now. Boy, that's expensive, 4,500. Unfortunately, this one here is not reducing the credit balance, right? Those here, for example, the power ones, I actually have modules here that reduce the credit balance of them, right? So they cost less to maintain. Unfortunately, it doesn't count for every mine. So yeah, that's that. We have only 100 energy on the moon though. So unfortunately, I will need to build another very, very expensive solar collector. This is increasing, look at that, from 40,000 down to 23,000. The moon is too expensive. I'm starting to think that the mod was a mistake. It's too expensive. What can I do about it? First of all, we could sell some stuff.
Friendly face.
It's not really changing a lot. She doesn't want a lot though. I will need to start now with my crops. How much do they cost me? 100 on the balance. That is fine. For the crops though, I do need another shield, another protection, probably over there somewhere. Far away anyway. And we're going to have these crops then here. Right, so I guess like that. And we could have, yes, those modules then to that. Look at that. 31 crops we have. Not really taking a lot of ice. 200 on the balance. Nah, so we don't need anything else for them. I could just add a few more modules though, since it's really not that expensive. Right, so that's 1 plus 70. And now we can actually go for the Space Nutrition Factory. This is going to be expensive though, as we can see. I'm going to have this one close as well. So up there. We produce the first now. Oh, 25k for each of them. And let's just see that we're not consuming too much here. Right, so I think that's fine for now. That's 2,000 on the balance. And I cannot have any useful modules for that. Alright, but what we can do now is we can finally upgrade. And that's what we should be doing. First of all, before I really go into upgrading, let's have another shield in the area. I don't like these shields because basically they're destroying my layout. So we can add a whole bunch of new houses to the area. Like that. As we can see, we would need another shield over there in order to have another block of houses then. That's for the titanium plating. There we can have a full block. And probably here as well. Very expensive stuff, but we need to do it. We need the workforce for all of these people. Alrighty, and we can actually start to upgrade now, and we should be doing that. The first tier 2 houses on the moon.
Reporting for duty.
And that's the officers.
Yes.
there we have them. Those houses, yeah, they don't look that much different, to be honest. They look a bit more sophisticated, I guess. And we got more people now outside. And those people want a whole bunch of new stuff. Especially the androids are going to be very expensive. But overall, with them, we have unlocked a whole bunch of new buildings that we can now start producing or constructing. And we've also opened up the way to the fusion reactor, which would be our next goal in order to solve the energy crisis. Because the energy crisis is getting a real crisis, actually, becoming a real crisis, as we continue now for the really sophisticated industries. Stay tuned.
Construction options expanded.